Fox 40 News next.
A spectacular feast of lights and sound. We've got you covered with the best of Y2K around the world.
Find out what's cooking in Stockton this New Year's Eve. It's a lot more than ribs. I'm Sherry Gyro. I'll have the lowdown next.
I'm Terry Cox at the Office of Emergency Services. Y2K Central for the state of California will let you know if any problems are arising. Next.
Yeah, she gave me 2 books to read. The Idiot's Guide to Being a Grandma and Being a Grandma.
Prepare for Y2K. You'll need more than food and water. Getting ready for Baby New Year. Next. Plus, sending a New Year's message to your favorite space alien.
I feel fantastic.
And Monica Lewinsky's new weight loss commercial.
Fox 40 News at 10 starts right now.
Hi, everyone, and a Happy New Year's Eve. I'm Donna Cordova.
And Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Warren Armstrong. First on Fox, Y2K is here on America's East Coast. Just an hour ago, more than 1 million people roared the year 2000 to life in Times Square. Look at that. Some people waited 2 days to see that giant crystal ball drop and to be a part of all those fireworks, confetti, balloons, and sheer jam-packed craziness. What a party for 2000 in Times Square. Less than 2 hours to the new year here on the West Coast. Most of the country and the world are already celebrating the start of the year 2000. And the good news, the Y2K bug has not been much of a pest so far. In Sacramento, it's the downtown countdown to 2000, and our Mike Bond joins us live from the city's official New Year's Eve party. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, Warren, I can barely hear you. I know we're not at Times Square, but it's certainly almost loud enough, and I know I've been groped enough to be at Times Square, that's for sure. Behind me is the music group. Brandon, if you can go ahead and zoom in, we'll take a look at them right now. That is the music group Fastball playing. This is Sacramento radio station KZCO's New Year's Eve Bash. We're here at the Sacramento Convention Center. Now, there are 3 dance floors here to choose from, and just about the only place in Sacramento to bring in the final 2 hours of 1999 is right here.
These people are all into Y2K. No, not the possible glitches, but perhaps the possible, shall we say, hitches.
Here to meet some really classy, sophisticated, top-of-the-line men.
She is, not me.
Now, would you say your shirt looks more like the celebration in Paris, Amsterdam, or Auckland, New Zealand?
I'd say Paris. I saw the Eiffel Tower. It was all over the place, just like I'm all over the place, so it should be a good time. Looking forward to it.
People can dance their shirts off at one of 3 party floors. This one is disco, like we had to explain.
San Francisco's going to be a mess.
They came to lonely Sacramento.
To Sacramento, yeah. Actually, we got friends here, so it should be a good time.
All our friends are here, and my boyfriend's here, so we came here.
Not a lot of choices, though, really.
Unless you're going to go out of town. Yeah, this is the only place in Sacramento to be.
Now, we'd never go so far as to say people came here for the unlimited booze, or would we?
They got alcohol. What else do you need? Alcohol, food, and dancing.
So,
Back out here live at the Sacramento Convention Center, where Sacramento is partying away the rest of 1999. In just a little bit, the rock group Oleander is scheduled to play here. You know, it wasn't cheap to get inside here. It cost $250 to get into the VIP area, which is upstairs, $125 to get in right here. But most of all the people we've talked to so far say they're having a good time and the money is well worth it. We'll be back here in just a little bit to show you what's going to happen at 12 midnight. They're going to actually drop a ball here. It won't be anything like what you see at Times Square, but it might be similar. You be the judge. That's the very latest from Sacramento. Mike Bond, live, Fox 40 News.
That's right, Mike. We improvise. And I'll tell you what, the countdown to 2000 is also underway right now in Stockton, an event called First Night. Our Sherry Gyro is live in Stockton to show us how things are going there. Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Donna. We're having a great time out here. There's a wonderful band playing right now. There's a lot of people watching the band. And city leaders say they're proud to say that tonight's celebration is alcohol-free and family-oriented. It's a safe way to bring in the year 2000.
Well, so far,
It's just getting started. It's going to be great.
And to Stockton residents,
The year 2000 means a lot of celebration.
Stockton's First Night 2000 celebration kept most of the downtown area filled with people ready for some millennium entertainment along with culture.
It's indicative of all the different cultures we have here in Stockton. And so I think it's really a great thing to watch.
Cops were everywhere walking the streets, looking out for any potential problems.
We want to make sure people feel comfortable. And one of the reasons we're here is to make people feel comfortable.
While police keep the peace, revelers talk about the Y2K hype and reflect on how this century lived up to their expectations.
I didn't think we'd have computers. I mean, that's really bizarre. You know, the way that we can talk to people.
Seeing what's going on around the world, just what I thought, nothing was going to happen.
This is the Band Network, and they have been jamming out here, I'd say for about the past hour or so. People are dancing like those two kids right there, having a good time. The crowd hasn't been exactly the biggest, but people are piling in right now because at midnight they're going to have some great fireworks over at the waterfront. Reporting live in Stockton, I'm Sherry Gyro, Fox 40 News.
Thanks, Sherry. From a remote South Pacific island to the Egyptian pyramids to the London Bridge, it's been fascinating watching the year 2000 roll across the world. Our Tim Robinson has been tracking all of it, and he's in the newsroom now with the highlights. Tim?
Well, Warren, it's nice to see that everybody here, it looks like, is having a good time already, and certainly everybody around the world, like you mentioned, having a good time celebrating what's right with the world. This is the first place on Earth where time changed. 1999 gives way to the year 2000 on Millennium Island in Kiribati in the South Pacific. From this first celebration to this first sunrise of the new year, the sky is somehow different now. Watch. Sydney, Australia, you can see that famous opera house to the left, was one of the first major cities of the world to light up the midnight sky. Lights and certainly fireworks were a consistent theme. They sprayed the sky in Hong Kong. In the Middle East, the birthplace of Jesus, Bethlehem, began with a soulful ethnic song and ended with the 2001 Space Odyssey theme and fireworks. In Egypt, fireworks light the desert sky, but look at this, the ancient Sphinx. Just one light needed here. In Moscow, Red Square lit up and looking like a cold Russian midnight. In Tokyo, balloons, a countdown, and an ancient gong is sounded. In England, the very old Big Ben sounds, and an absolutely monstrous display of pyrotechnics from the polite people of the United Kingdom. The most populated country and one of the most ancient cultures celebrates in Beijing, China. Beautiful costumes, pageantry, and fireworks from Tiananmen Square. And from St. Peter's Square in Rome, a Vatican celebration. The Pope's eyes look skyward too, and then, after the fireworks, words from the leader of the world's largest religion. One of the biggest light shows anywhere came appropriately from the City of Lights, Paris doing the Millennium perhaps only like Parisians can. Words can't describe this. And it's tough to describe this too. American servicemen in Antarctica, a strange little dance, a countdown, and finally, champagne. That's actually a midnight light there in Antarctica. About 200 people down there doing scientific experiments. Everybody's having a good time across the world. Y2K bug? Nah. Reporting live in the newsroom, Tim Robinson, Fox 40 News.
You know what, Tim? Not everyone gets to celebrate the new year. Because of the potential for Y2K problems, thousands of people are working tonight, ready for a potential disaster if it strikes. Our Terry Cox joins us live from the State Office of Emergency Services with more on that. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Donna. We are here at the State Office of Emergency Services. We're at Y2K Central for the state of California. This is where more than 100 people are on the clock, watching the clock. They are watching the New Year's impact as it makes its way across the globe. I'm going to step out of the picture here and let you see what's going on. We are in the middle of a 10 o'clock briefing. This is where the director of the Office of Emergency Services has told us he has watched the year 2000 roll right through more than 12 time zones. There are virtually zero Y2K problems to report. We are told here in the U.S. there was one reported event with slot machines in Delaware. At this point, they don't know if that was Y2K related. Have some power outages in Southern California. Those are all traffic accident related. Apparently in Africa, there were some cell phone problems. problems, but that apparently is weather related. So all in all, they're telling us we are virtually Y2K compliant and safe at this hour. They are more concerned about people problems, the threats of riots and the threats of terrorism than they are the Y2K bug. What I want to do is show you some video that we shot here earlier in the evening. This is going to give you an example of just how quiet and uneventful it has been here all night at the Y2K Central for the state of California. Prepared for disaster, but instead taking time out to celebrate not one but two birthdays here because it's just been that quiet here in the center. Now we are back here live. We are awaiting the midnight hour. Again, no problems are reported. Actually, there is no sense of anxiety here in this room other than people trying to meet their live shots. It's very quiet, no problems reported. This center will be open until Monday night at 7. Reporting live in Sacramento, I'm Terry Cox, Fox 40 News.
Well, as Terry mentioned, the Y2K bug didn't exactly crawl back into its hole, but there have been some glitches worldwide and here at home. Our Grant Rampey is at the Y2K Command Center in Washington, where some of those problems, or the lack of them, are being watched closely tonight. What's the latest, Grant?
Warren, things have been going so well here. You can tell it's a calm atmosphere in the first place, but besides that, the Y2Ks are for the nation. John, Koskinen, thank you. John came around about an hour ago, even before midnight struck on the East Coast, and he passed out chocolate cake. That's how good things have been today. Almost a sense of overconfidence. But now a full 90% of the world's population, 2/3 of the United States, has passed over into the new millennium. But with every time they talk to us, they say, maybe it's too early to be celebrating.
A brief scare earlier today, word that 3 short-range missiles had been fired in the last 24 hours, all by Russia, aimed at Chechnya.
We have confirmed with the Defense Department that this incident was not Y2K related.
At the ultra-top-secret NORAD facility in Colorado, a sight unimaginable even a decade ago. Russian and U.S. military brass side by side as a clock shows Moscow rolling into the new year. There'd been fears that Russia's 6,000 nuclear weapons might face a glitch, but when the fateful hour came, no panic. Only smiles and handshakes.
Свет не погас. You can see the light is on in Moscow.
Throughout Australia and New Zealand. Across India. In Japan, few if any problems, even in the skies.
Transition in Asia and the Pacific went very, very well.
The same story in Bethlehem and throughout the Mideast. In Paris, the amazing lighting of the Eiffel Tower. And then on to London, where the Queen and 4 million Englanders witnessed 15 minutes of fireworks. For Y2K watchers here in the U.S.,
it is a wonderful day, and we are ready for this moment.
At a late afternoon briefing, the president's Y2K czar could only find one item worth mentioning.
The state of Delaware has advised that it did experience a Y2K problem with a small number of slot machines operated at the 3 racetracks. I knew that would be of some concern to you.
Obviously a very relaxed atmosphere here in the nation's capital. Just in the last few minutes, the president and the first lady, Chelsea as well, have wrapped up a celebration along the Washington Monument grounds with hundreds of thousands of Washingtonians. The president standing where Martin Luther King Jr. stood 30 years ago, saying, "Let freedom continue to ring."
As we marvel at the changes of the last 100 years, we dream of what changes the next 100 and the next 1,000 will bring. And as powerful as our memories are, our dreams must be even stronger. For when our memories outweigh our dreams, we become old. And it is the eternal destiny of America to remain forever young.
Glorious fireworks on the Capitol grounds this evening. Everyone filtering home in Washington. A lot of streets closed, but hundreds of thousands of folks still enjoying the atmosphere down there with the president. Back to you.
Grant, considering how smoothly things are going tonight, just how long will operations at the command center last? A couple of days, a couple of hours? How long?
Well, Warren, they say they're going to be briefing us through Monday because that's when we come back to work on Monday and a lot of our computers get turned on again. They want to know for sure if some of the banks that resume business, those of us who work in office buildings, if everything is still fine after Monday at midnight, that's when they say we've really gotten over the hump. Right now, things are looking good, though.
All right, Grant Rampey again in Washington. Thanks for that report. Just a few miles away from that command center, all worries about computer glitches were forgotten. Washington Monument taking center stage in the nation's capital tonight. Thousands gathered at the National Mall to ring in the new century. Tonight's celebration capped off a full day of festivities at the mall.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Some problems, but we haven't, of course, seen the catastrophe many people were predicting. So let me ask you this. Was it silly to worry going so far as to stock up on everything on store shelves? As Matt Robinson shows us, some think so, while others feel we're just fine.
Well, we know the world hasn't ended yet. And as a matter of fact, as the hours tick by, more people seem to be less and less concerned.
Following around the events, my grandmother told me that China had their Y2K already, and it went okay, so I'm not too worried about it. Our radio at home, the portable one.
He may not be worried, but for his better half, that's a different story. So they all ended up here today at the Sacramento Y2K survival store. Owner Bob Mills says those who were worried are already prepared. So he really didn't expect a last-minute rush. But he says many people may make the mistake of tossing out their survival kit after January 2nd.
Should always be prepared for any number of potential calamities, and if it doesn't work for Y2K, most of these products will stay for years, if not decades.
This foreign road U-Haul has been pretty busy today, filling up propane tanks, and gas stations are seeing a steady flow of cars. Still, some say the best way to deal with this Y2K situation is just to get out of town. Of course, it also depends on what time they do that.
I didn't want to go in the evening. I'm not all into Y2K thing, but still, better to be safe than sorry.
As the world rolls into 2000, so far there hasn't been any major global catastrophes to speak of. So we should be able to relax, right? Well, some people say don't do it just yet.
We're the most prepared on the planet. However, many others are unprepared, and the results of their unpreparedness may not be known for weeks or months.
So it's up to you on whether to let your guard down on January 2nd. Who knows? Once the world wakes up from its hangover, that may be when the problems start. In Sacramento, Matt Robinson, Fox 40 News.
And that Y2K store isn't going to disappear once the new year begins. Owner Bob Mills says there's always a possibility of natural disasters, so people need to be prepared.
Vandals often target schools during the holidays, but in Sacramento, an effort to stop the destruction is working. Neighbors are watching the schools. These are city school cops going door to door today, asking people to keep their eyes open for trouble. The school district has spent thousands of dollars for high-tech alarm systems during the past 2 years, but neighbors can help stop graffiti taggers.
Graffiti won't trip an intrusion alarm, but the neighbors watching someone spray paint graffiti and then calling the police, that's our best defense in terms of catching, arresting, and going for restitution.
Sergeant Matranga says it's been a good year, not much vandalism at the schools, and he thinks it's because people are getting involved.
Okay, back to the celebrations and talk about Party Central. That would be New York City, USA. You've got over 1 million people in Times Square. It is mad, folks. Things really lit up because the ball is down. Let's go to our Allison Camerata. Allison, happy 2000.
Thank you. You too, Donna. And it was really a breathtaking scene here in Times Square. At exactly 1 minute before midnight, that new $1 million Waterford crystal ball began making its 77-foot descent down the flagpole, and when it landed, the year 2000 began here. Fireworks went off for about 10 solid minutes, and 4 tons of confetti rained down on all of the party goers here. In fact, at this hour, confetti is still falling. This was a $7 million extravaganza. It was New York City's biggest party ever. And according to the mayor here, Rudy Giuliani, who we spoke to just before midnight, this party went off pretty much without incident. He said there were only 7 arrests tonight of the 2 million people that were estimated to be here. Now, the New York City police are reporting that they got many more bomb threats tonight than usual on New Year's Eve, but none of those proved bona fide, and in fact, they didn't put any stock in them. Now, at this hour here, the party continues, and while some people are filtering out of Times Square, others are here. They'll be here till 6 in the morning. In fact, a few moments ago, a massive Congo line was forming behind me. So now that the party has gone so well tonight, New York City faces yet another formidable task, and that is the cleanup here. And judging from what Times Square looks like right now, that could take a while. We're live in Times Square. Allison Camerata, Fox News.
Allison, all day long we were watching those hourly celebrations. I had no idea that they were going to be so massive.
Oh, absolutely. As it turned midnight, at some point in the globe, in different time zones, they celebrated it here. So, for instance, when it was midnight in Argentina, they played Latin songs here. And in fact, they're going to continue that until 6 a.m. this morning.
Okay, you still have to get in that California New Year's Eve celebration out there.
That's right. So they're sticking it out here for that.
Okay, Party Central, as we said. Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, and if you're still planning to ring in the new year outdoors here in California, our Pat Hambright is here to tell you what to expect. Pat?
Evening, Warren. Yes, a cool night tonight, but not as cool as we had last night. Temperatures right now in the 40s, and by midnight we will be dipping into the upper 30s. Bit of a southwesterly wind has brought some fog actually up into the foothills along the Mother Lode. Driving on Highway 49, places like Auburn, Grass Valley, down towards Sonora. We've had some fog reports, so be careful for that. Other than that, cooling off, but no problems. Details on your first weekend forecast of the new year coming up later in weather. Warren?
So while you're toasting the new year, a Sacramento woman hopes she'll be screaming in pain, the pain of childbirth. Our Melissa Remick shows us the countdown to possibly a New Year's baby.
This is what you expect to hear at midnight. Lots of cheering, even some screaming. The wrong kind of screaming, you say? Not if you're trying to have a New Year's baby.
The orange juice is supposed to wake him up.
Time is ticking for 30-year-old Carrie Mack. 10 days past her due date, she's ready to meet her baby boy face to face.
I mean, we're excited to see the baby.
That's grandma-to-be taking it all in, also known as Carrie's mother-in-law, a very prepared woman.
She gave me 2 books to read. The Idiot's Guide to Being a Grandma and Being a Grandma.
Well, she was asking me about calcium deposits. Have a baby, the first Y2K baby at Kaiser South Sacramento, get a gift. A time capsule, a t-shirt, even a crib blanket from the staff.
Why the rush, you ask? The answer is in cyberspace at a place called babyzone.com. 40 couples all around the country are competing for this baby new year, and as of 1:30 this afternoon, Carrie and her husband are still in the running.
Actually, I'm having a contraction.
Carrie hopes a little walk around the park will kick things into gear, and as you can see, she's finding success. So what will Carrie get if she has the Millennium Baby? How about a $1,000 shopping spree?
That wasn't really the reason I did it. It was more so just to have the web page and to be able to have relatives and friends be able to check in from all over the world.
So I found out a lot of things about her that she probably would have never told me.
Like what?
Oh, just personal stuff, but you can check.
You can check it on the
You
web
can check.
page.
You can double click.
In Sacramento, Melissa Remick, FOX40 News.
No word yet from Carrie. We've got our fingers crossed, though. And to check out Carrie's baby journal, go to our website, KTXL.com. You'll find a direct link to Baby Zone. As you know, the couple is expecting a boy, and they're planning on naming him Ethan.
Well, they are calling this next baby the first of the new millennium. Who's going to doubt that? This little boy was born at 1 minute after midnight in Auckland, New Zealand. That's one of the first sites on the planet to ring in the new year. In all, 6 babies were born in the first 20 minutes in Auckland. The city's fireworks were still going off for most of them. Millennium Madness is slowly heading our way, crossing the time zones, and all of you at home are in great company. We're going to ring in the new year the same time as all those party animals in Las Vegas. Our man Trace Gallagher is live at Caesar's Palace. Trace, it's go time.
You know, I'll tell you, Donna, in London they have the big fireworks display. In Times Square they drop the ball. Here in Vegas they just kick on more neon. But the city is now starting to rock. Take a look at the Strip. They have blocked it off. This is the world's biggest block party. About 150 to 200,000 people down there. The crowd so far very well behaved. It is actually a pretty slow night here in Vegas. In fact, the PIO for the police department says one of the slowest Friday nights of the year. Still, it's the new millennium, and this is vintage Vegas. Happy New Year! When you can ring in the new millennium in Egypt, Paris, and New York all at the same time, that is a world-class party, Las Vegas style. A city where the drinks are free, the stakes are high, and the fever is contagious. Vegas is said to be Y2K compliant, which means at the stroke of midnight, the lights will burn while the stars shine. Barbra Streisand, Elton John, Bette Midler. But with some show tickets pushing $1,000, sellouts are hard to come by. Hotels also have plenty of rooms.
Now at 2000, I want to have the best time. I thought Vegas is the best place to be.
200,000 plus, not about to miss a Vegas Millennium.
We just want to be out on the streets and see all the chaos.
Yeah! With the Strip 200,000 strong, security is always a concern.
We've been preparing for New Year's Eve for over a year now. We've met monthly with our agency, other local government agencies, private enterprise here to formulate our plan for New Year's Eve.
Las Vegas Metro Police will have 1,200 officers on duty, but the city is anticipating parties, not problems.
As far as terrorism, we have received no information that Las Vegas is being targeted by any terrorist groups.
You got a Mardi Gras atmosphere here in Vegas. You've got dancing, singing, and drinking in the streets. The two no-nos, no glass, and no climbing up the telephone poles. We are live in Las Vegas. Trace Gallagher, FOX40 News.
Oh, Vegas, you gotta love it. You got people walking around in tuxes and blue jeans.
You know, of all the places we saw, that looked like the most fun to me.
It looked like it, because it's close, that's why.
Yes, that's true. We've got much more Millennium coverage coming up for you.
But first, the other important news of the day, including new developments in the case of this missing 7-year-old.
Then what we've learned about 2 men arrested for making a whole slew of pipe bombs.
We've got the California connection to that week-long hijacking overseas.
Plus, sending a New Year's greeting to your favorite space alien. Stay with us.
Tonight, Fox presents a Millennium broadcast that will change the face of television.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On the front line.
We're just minutes away.
In the streets.
Live
from London. And around the world with live performances.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Neville Brothers and more. Bring in the Millennium Fox style with Fox 2000 Live tonight at 11 on Fox.
A 100-year-old rivalry kicks off the new year as Texas battles Arkansas. The Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl. New Year's Day on Fox.
New from McDonald's, the most exciting taste ever to come out of a garden. Surprise, it's chicken. Introducing McDonald's new Garden Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now just $1.99. We start with all white meat chicken breast seasoned to perfection. We add a fresh thick slice of tomato and whole leaf lettuce. Then we top it all with the tangy coolness of Garden Ranch dressing. Garden Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich from McDonald's new McChoice menu. Where can you pick one for only $1.99? Did somebody say McDonald's?
What would you do to be able to ski the legendary snow of Kirkwood? That's all very impressive, but there is an easier way. Now for a limited time, purchase or lease a new Chevy Suburban, Blazer, Tahoe, Tracker, or 4-wheel drive S10 and get 2 season passes to Kirkwood. With its challenging wide-open terrain, it's the deepest, driest snow in the Sierra. Grab one of these great Chevy trucks, and you could be doing this all winter. See your Chevy dealer today.
More of the sights and sounds of Millennium celebrations around the world. In other news tonight, Vallejo police are reportedly looking for extremely personal items in their search for a missing Vallejo girl. Ziana Fairchild disappeared 3 weeks ago. These are old pictures of her. A Vallejo newspaper said cops served a warrant at her mother's boyfriend's parents' home looking for things including a diary and pornographic materials. That's Robert Turnbow. He talked with reporters yesterday. Police say there is no evidence to link him to any crime. But an ex-girlfriend reportedly told police Turnbow had these things in 1995, so they went to check them out. Ray Caruth's newborn son has been released from the hospital. That baby was delivered prematurely after his mother, Sharika Adams, was shot last November. She died a few weeks later, but the baby is doing well. Police have charged Caruth, a former Carolina Panthers football player and Sacramento native, with first-degree murder. Adams' mother now has custody of the baby.
15 explosive devices found in a North Highlands home, but today investigators say it's no Y2K conspiracy. As our Lonnie Wong tells us, yesterday's arrests of 2 men are no surprise to some neighbors.
I don't like it.
Neighbors evacuated their homes yesterday on Langley Drive in North Highlands, all because cops say Brian Hogan and Gary Drake were making pipe bombs in this house belonging to Drake's father. The two have served prison time for firebombing 2 local high schools in 1990. Neighbors say there were other incidents.
You know, shooting guns out in the street here and driving up and down the street like they're maniacs. You know, it's crazy.
Today, you could see the damage caused by the bombs, which were set off by the bomb squad robot. Neighbors say most of the devices detonated by the bomb squad were either duds or made hardly any noise at all. but at least 3 exploded with enough force to cause significant damage to the side of the house. Investigators say the pipe bombs were stuffed with powder taken out of legal fireworks. Relatives of suspect Gary Drake told neighbors they were not a big deal, but to neighbors, they were.
Well, that's only firecrackers. Not that kind of explosion. That ain't a firecracker.
Residents say Drake's father apparently abandoned his house after he couldn't control his son or the company he kept.
Young kids go in there and they come out with stoned. And that's been going on for a long time.
Investigators say the two were going to use the bombs to celebrate New Year's. Cops say they are not connected to any organized group or terrorist plot. In fact, pipe bombs are commonly found in Sacramento.
During most times, it'd be a nothing call, but a lot of what's going on around the world and in Sacramento, this one deserved more attention, obviously.
Some neighbors are glad that kind of attention put Hogan and Drake in jail. In North Highlands, Lonnie Wong, Fox 40 News.
Hogan and Drake now face felony charges for the manufacture of explosive devices. Holiday fireworks appear to have caused a fire that destroyed a downtown Victorian in Sacramento. The fire broke out earlier this evening at this home on 15th and F. Investigators say it looks as if the fire started in the back of the home and spread very quickly. It took firefighters a long time to get the flames under control. No one was injured, but it appears Sacramento has lost another Victorian home that can't be replaced.
Goodwill seems to be spilling over into the new year. For instance, this fireworks stand in Rio Linda, it's run by the Kiwanis Club to benefit Boy Scout Troop 531. 2 days ago, thieves broke into a storage container and stole $7,000 worth of fireworks. But over the last 2 days, Boy Scouts have been selling hot dogs to make up for the loss, and people have been looking for the stand on Rio Linda near Maine to help them out.
One woman didn't know where we were over here, but they come from Folsom Boulevard, come way over here and drove up and down the street till they found our booth to give us a donation.
How do you like that? At this point, volunteers say they are trying to break even and they would be thankful for that.
The passengers aboard that hijacked India Airlines jet are now finally free. Thousands of people jammed the New Delhi airport today when the hostages arrived. Islamic militants hijacked the plane the day before Christmas. It sat on the ground in Afghanistan for a week. The passengers say it was a week of terror and misery. The hijackers finally released the passengers early this morning. In exchange, the Indian government freed 3 Islamic political prisoners and allowed the hijackers to escape into Afghanistan. There was one American on board, a school teacher from Bakersfield, and she's reported to be okay. A millennium bombshell out of Russia. President Boris Yeltsin making a dramatic announcement today on television.
After a long and painful deliberation, I have made a decision. Today, on the last day of the outgoing century, I am resigning.
Yeltsin says with the new year, it's time for a new leader. Prime Minister Vladimir Putin is now acting president. Yeltsin humbly apologized for the country's many problems. He said he never expected the post-communist transition to be so difficult. The problems have transformed Yeltsin from the fiery leader of the democracy movement to a frail man with heart problems. Elections for a new president will take place in 3 months.
As of today, the Panama Canal is now Panama's Canal. Joyful Panamanians joined a countdown to 12 noon when the handover became complete. The crowd started cheering and dancing. Many Panamanians compare today to Independence Day. For years, the U.S. operated the canal zone, which split the country in two and was off limits to most Panamanians.
Well, about an hour and a half, and still ahead, we'll take you back out to Sacramento's big Y2K party.
Plus, Monica Lewinsky's new weight loss commercial.
And as we head into the weekend, it looks like we're going to continue to see things relatively trouble-free. One-word weather tonight includes a very simple greeting. It's kind of one word. Details on your forecast next.
People call it smart, thrilling, the place for values. Toyotathon 2000, the blockbuster event filled with great Toyota values. Your ride to the new millennium is here. Are you ready to go? Choose from 1.9% APR for 24 months, 3.9 APR for 36 months, or 4.9 APR for 48 months on all new 2000 Corollas. Get to Toyotathon 2000, now playing exclusively at your Toyota dealer.
The talented Mr. Ripley has been nominated for 5 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Picture of the Year, Best Actor Matt Damon, and Best Director Anthony Minghella. Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law. The talented Mr. Ripley, rated R, now playing.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Don't let time slip away. Celebrate in style during our year-end event with 0.9% APR financing and no first month's payment on every 99 Mercury in stock. That means incredible year-end savings on Mountaineer, Cougar, even on Grand Marquis. We're dealing on everything, but it all ends January 7th.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Don't let time run out. See your California Mercury dealer now.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Y-E-S. At John L. Sullivan, that spells year-end savings. 1 week only. Choose from California's largest selection.
Not 100, not 200, not 300, but 400 new Chevy trucks.
Get it now, buy it now during our last sale of the 20th century. Y-E-S. Year-end savings. 1 week only at John L. Sullivan Chevy World.
No one can make you a deal like we can. And that's been our promise for over 50 years.
And now, Fox 40 weather with Pat Hambright.
Well, heading into New Year's weekend, things are changing just a bit. The winds have shifted, some fog is in the foothills, and we've got some cooler temperatures on the way. Outside, we are going to see things drop off into the 30s first thing tomorrow morning. Here's the tricky thing. We do have some high cloudiness, so we might not see very bad fog in the valley, but we do have some areas in the foothills, especially along parts of Highway 49 that have got kind of socked in with some fog tonight. Heading up to the foothills or coming down out of the Sierra, be aware for some dense fog banks that will be around through morning tomorrow. By noon, high cloudiness continuing. Temperatures are going to be a bit cooler than we have seen. 52, 53. These are going to be about 8 or so degrees cooler than we have had noontime temperatures the last week. Going into tomorrow evening, the sun goes down, quickly cooling off already into the upper 40s. A little bit more like we should have for this time of year, but keep in mind with things being so warm, tomorrow's going to feel a bit cooler. Temperatures today started that slow cool off. We did only have highs in the upper 50s, and with a bit of a breeze today, it did feel a bit chillier even with the sunshine. So we had 50s in replace of 60s. Sierra, temperatures about the same, but we'll also start to drag things off a little bit up there, gradually back down to near normal temperatures, it looks like, as we go into next week. High cloudiness is apparent tonight. If you go outside, you'll be able to see that stuff. Also, as we said, because of the southwest wind actually pushing delta clouds all the way up into the foothills, we've had some dense fog banks up there. We're going to see patches of fog in the valley again tomorrow morning. Bigger picture does not have any rain in our immediate forecast. We were talking about rain for Monday and Tuesday. Right now, well, guess what? That's going to head to the north. So occasional high cloudiness, patchy morning fog, cooler temperatures as we start off next week. Looks like we'll be 50s in place of 60s. Here's a look at our weekend forecast. A little breezy perhaps tomorrow up in the Sierra, but not in the valley. Partly cloudy skies after some patchy morning fog, mid-50s. That's the big difference. San Joaquin Valley also in the mid-50s. Some patchy fog, some clouds in the afternoon. Highs there, as you can see, 54s and 55s. Foothills and Sierra, some patchy dense fog to start off the day tomorrow. Cooler temperatures into the 50s. Sierra, not much of a change, still in the 40s. Ridgetop winds to 30 miles an hour at times. Out to the coast, partly cloudy skies. Inland valleys will see some patchy fog. Highs will be in the upper 50s to near 60. Next 7 days, not much different than we've seen, except occasional high clouds and 50s instead of 60s. Rain right now doesn't look like it's going to happen until maybe next weekend. Again, we keep pushing off this rain. We could go 30 days between rainstorms. Wow. December 9th, the last time we saw it.
So definitely saying right now, no rain till next year.
And very dry.
Good call, Donna. Thank you, Pat. The world's most famous intern pops back before the public eye this weekend, but you'll actually see less of her.
I've tried every diet in the world. I mean,
she's now Jenny Craig client Monica Lewinsky, and she appears in this commercial for the weight loss program. You get before and after pictures, but the 26-year-old has shed 31 pounds so far. This spot airs Sunday during a skating commercial on NBC.
Okay, we're checking the clock for you once again. Just about an hour and 20 minutes left until the new year around here. Up next, we'll get you back live to Sacramento's biggest party.
We'll also show you how one of the smaller cities in our area is celebrating Y2K. Stay with us.
I'd be right with you.
Winter blues got you down? Nothing lifts the spirit like Mazda's year-end clearance. Right now, get $1,000 cash back or incredibly low financing on a new Mazda B-Series 4x2. Mazda's year-end clearance. It's just what you needed.
Most effective therapy.
Got that puppy from NFL Blitz. Oh, yeah. Played WCW for 12 hours. Just kind of stayed that way.
Amateurs. Rented games from Blockbuster 5 days straight.
Are you game enough? Blockbuster has more copies of new releases than ever before. Rent them for 5 full evenings.
Love the thumbs, Petey.
Blockbuster Video. Are you game enough?
What you're hearing is the sound of the Dodge 0% sale, where for a very limited time, select customers can get either 0% financing on every new Dodge in stock, or select customers can buy with 0 down, plus make 0 payments for 6 months. Plus, that's on every new Dodge car, truck, SUV, or minivan in stock. Or you can still get cash allowances of up to $1,250 on select cars and minivans. So hurry, before time, well, you get the picture.
New from McDonald's, the most exciting taste ever to come out of a garden. Surprise, it's chicken. Introducing McDonald's new Garden Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now just $1.99. We start with all white meat chicken breast seasoned to perfection. We add a fresh thick slice of tomato and whole leaf lettuce. Then we top it all with the tangy coolness of Garden Ranch dressing. Garden Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich from McDonald's new McChoice menu. Where can you pick one for only $1.99? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Selection, 15 dealers, 21 brands, hundreds of models, 91 acres of beautiful cars, and now's the time to buy. Our goal is to sell 40,000 cars before the end of the year. The selection is incredible, the choice is unlimited, and right now the deals are unbeatable. Hurry in before the end of the year. The Roseville Auto Mall, Eureka Road off I-80.
A glowing Y2K in the Philippines, huh? And if you can't make Sacramento's official New Year's Eve party, forget about it. We'll take you there right now. Let's go back to our Mike Bond at the Zone's Downtown Countdown. How's the party, Mike?
Warren, let me just say this. Is it safe to look behind me? No, I guess I've answered my question. It's not safe. We're at the Sacramento Convention Center where, as you can see, everybody is counting down the remainder of 1999. What did somebody just do to me? Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. Anyway, we're here at the Sacramento Convention Center where, as I say, people are counting down 1999. The group fastball is still playing, and they expected about 3,000 people out here. I would say there are at least 6,000, if not more, out here enjoying themselves. Where we have about 11:15. We're getting close. We'll be back in a half an hour to give you an update on all the fun and excitement here in downtown Sacramento. And I don't want any more people touching me. Okay? Back to you guys.
Once again, Mike Bond showing he knows how to win new friends anywhere, doesn't he? Mike, Happy New Year, and we'll see you a little bit later during the night.
We're afraid to go back there. Most kids, though, they usually don't get that excited about New Year's Eve because they're asleep when it happens. But that doesn't mean they shouldn't have the chance to party in the new year. Down in Lodi, the city threw a kids-only bash called Millennium Kids Night Out. I think this looks a lot more fun than the grown-ups party.
Yeah.
Along with the rides, playrooms, and junk food, the city also had a fingerprinting station all set up.
Does look like a lot of fun.
Didn't it look great? Yeah, certainly work off all that energy.
Coming up on Fox 40 News, a live update on Y2K. We'll find out if any problems have cropped up here in the U.S.
Also, a powerful laser that is hoping to make contact with extraterrestrials in the new millennium.
let's play 6 Degrees of Drew Carey.
I can connect Drew Carey to Jerry Seinfeld in 6 moves. Drew Carey stars in The Drew Carey Show with Diedrich Bader, who was in the Beverly Hillbillies movie with Dabney Coleman, who was in 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton, who was in Steel Magnolias with Julia Roberts, who was in Pretty Woman with Jason Alexander, who co-stars with Jerry Seinfeld on Seinfeld.
I can do it in one move. Drew Carey and Jerry Seinfeld back-to-back on Fox 40. Weeknights starting at 6:30.
Hurry to get huge savings during the Hyundai year-end sale. Get the all-new Hyundai Accent for only $8,934. Or check out the roomy 2000 Elantra. The sedan that Consumers Digest just named a Best Buy starts at just $12,234. Both come with the freedom of America's best warranty. So hurry down to your Hyundai dealer and save during the year-end sale. Come get a great deal on the new 2000 models at your Hyundai dealer now.
I always thought it'd be better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody.
Time magazine says The Talented Mr. Ripley is one of the 10 best films of the year. Rolling Stone raves it gets under your skin. And Newsweek calls it wonderfully seductive. 4 stars. A first-class suspense-filled romantic thriller unlike any you've experienced. With brilliant performances from Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law. The Talented Mr. Ripley, rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
At Future Ford in the Roseville Auto Mall, we're celebrating the millennium with the Sale of the Century. It's the biggest sale in the last 100 years.
Want great financing?
How about 0.9% factory financing, plus rebates up to $1,900?
Still want more?
At Future Ford's Truck World USA, we've got 2,000 Rangers as low as $79.88, 2,000 F-150s as low as $11,988. It's the greatest sale in 100 years. It's Future Ford's Sale of the Century. Future Ford in the Roseville Auto Mall.
It's door to door. It's wall to wall. It's the biggest clearance of all. Beck's is jam-packed with tons of brand new furniture. And new inventory is pouring in daily. So Beck's must clear out all living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and more. During Beck's biggest clearance of all. Find Northern California's best selection. With every price slashed. And that's not all. Buy with no money down, no interest, and no payments. It's all free and clear for 1.5 years. Go now. Beck's biggest clearance of all. It's wall to wall.
I got a new tent, and now I just gotta practice pitching it. Then I pack up and I head to Shasta or Sequoia. I'm very rugged.
First, head to your California Jeep dealer. They've got tents pitched too, where select buyers with preferred credit can get 0% financing or 0 down with no payments for 6 months.
That was easy. Nowadays, tents are designed to be pretty much fail-safe. Pretty much.
A joyous New Year's in Brazil, but it's been a frightening New Year's Eve for at least 6 people held hostage inside a Kansas bank. Near Kansas City tonight, it's a standoff between police and 2 female bank robbers. Late this afternoon, the women walked into this Bank of America branch. They took a number of bank employees as hostages. 6 of the hostages have now been released. No word on how many more may still be inside. Contrary to earlier reports, no shots have been fired. At least one of the suspects is armed, and there's still no word on why they even took hostages.
The clock's still ticking away. It is now about 1 hour and 13 minutes until 2000. Let's check back in with our Terry Cox. She is monitoring the situation at the state's Office of Emergency Services. Terry, crossing our fingers, is it still quiet out there?
Oh, Donna, uncross those fingers. Tonight has gone exceptionally well. As you mentioned, we're 1 hour and 15 minutes or less away from midnight. Keep in mind, New York brought in the new year about 2 hours ago, and the central part of the United States will bring in the new year in about 15 minutes. Things are going very well across the country and still right here in California. With me right now is Dallas Jones. He is director of OES, and he's going to bring us up to date with what's been happening across the United States.
Certainly. We've been quite heartened by all reports. We've had reports in from our operations center in New York. We have a representative there. We have one in Florida and Washington, D.C. All FEMA regions have reported green, which status is no major problems of any kind. We've had reports in from our Follow the Sun operation, and indeed here throughout California we've had Nothing more than a few traffic-related power outages in the southern part of the state. That's due to rain. So we're in great shape, we believe.
Everything has gone so much better than expected. There was a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, but tonight everybody seems to be in a great mood, and it seems like everybody has uncrossed their fingers.
Well, pretty much so, and I think that's due to a lot of remediation efforts, a lot of planning, and those sorts of things, and that's a really good sign. We have to remind people, though, to keep on the guard because we still have the rollover here in California. We always have the potential for problems in large gatherings of people. So while we're very pleased with the results so far, we're going to be, our 277 state workers are going to be manning our positions until Monday.
And you've been keeping your pulse on the possible people problem as far as rioting and terrorism. Everything's okay there as well, right?
Yes, and we're very heartened by that, too. Throughout the world and the United States, we've had no major problems of any kind in these large gatherings, and that's very, very nice to see, too. The American public seems to be very much enjoying the rollover.
And that's good news. Thank you very much for your time tonight. And again, we'll watch the clock and we'll keep our fingers crossed if we need to. But at this point, things are looking very good across the country, throughout the world. And we will report back to you, I believe, at about 11:15. So we'll continue to monitor the situation here. In the meantime, enjoy your evening. I'm reporting live in Sacramento. Terry Cox, Fox 40 News.
That's right, Terry. We want to remind our viewers that we're going to keep monitoring the situation for them well past midnight. Thanks for that report.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you've sent New Year's greetings to all your friends and family. Then you realize you forgot to send best wishes to your favorite space aliens. No problem. At an abandoned missile silo in Roswell, New Mexico, where else? Frank Constantini and his company Light Messenger have sent up a powerful laser beam. The laser will send encrypted messages into the far reaches of space, and for a fee, you can send a personal message straight up there.
Greetings to the extraterrestrials. We actually had a guy who wanted a used spacecraft with the owner's manual included if possible.
After the new year, the laser will continue to send up those greetings to aliens on a regular basis. Maybe they'll answer.
Yeah, if someone gives me money, I'll send a message up with my flashlight. Yeah.
We can do it together.
Coming up, football fans were bowled over on this final day of 1999.
And here's Jim with a preview of tonight's sports. Hi, Jim.
You got that right, you guys, and I'm happy to report that tonight's sports report has been declared Y2K compliant. It is completely safe to watch. And mixed in with all of that bowling football, baseball news out of San Francisco, the Giants are firing the woman. Stay with us.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Don't let time slip away. Celebrate in style during our year-end event with 0.9% APR financing and no first month's payment on every 99 Mercury in stock. That means incredible year-end savings on Mountaineer, Cougar, even on Grand Marquis. We're dealing on everything, but it all ends January 7th.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Don't let time run out. See your California Mercury dealer now.
Think all chilies taste the same? Take a close look at Stag.
What you see is what you get. It's what you get. What you see is what you get. It's what you get. I said what you see is what you get, baby.
Stag chili. See how good it tastes.
What you see is what you get. Yeah.
Sorry I'm late. Stanley?
Excuse me, sir. Your seat?
The Integra from Acura. Go places. Lease the Integra today at your local Acura dealer.
There's a very special ring at Zales this year, with the Millennium set in diamonds inside the band. It's an exquisite half-carat diamond solitaire in 18-karat gold for a special price of only $19.99. Think of it. Just as the Millennium is turning, you'll have the power to make time stand still. Exclusively at Zales stores or shop online at Zales.com.
What you're hearing is the sound of the Dodge 0% sale, where for a very limited time, select customers can get either 0% financing on every new Dodge in stock, or select customers can buy with 0 down, plus make 0 payments for 6 months. Plus, that's on every new Dodge car, truck, SUV, or minivan in stock. Or you can still get cash allowances of up to $1,250 on select cars and minivans. So hurry before time, well, you get the picture.
And now, Fox 40 Sports with Jim Crandell.
Hey, football in a minute, but first of all, word today from the Giants that they are dumping their public address announcer, Sherry Davis. She was the first woman PA announcer ever in Major League Baseball. The Giants have used her for the last 7 years, but they say they have had a lot of fans complain about her lately, and so when they move into the new ballpark next summer, they will have a new announcer. All right, now let's do football. How about the Pac-10? They at least got one. How about Oregon? They beat Minnesota today. This is the Sun Bowl game, and Oregon looks strong. Third quarter right here, the Ducks taking the lead. The quarterback keeper, Joe Harrington. But the first play of the fourth quarter, the Gophers got the lead back. Ron Johnson with the touchdown reception. Then with 1:35 left, it is the quarterback Harrington to Keenan Howry. Oregon 24-20. The Gophers' last chance, the sack, the fumble, the Ducks win. They upset number 12, Minnesota. It's Colorado State and Southern Mississippi then in the Liberty Bowl game, and what a job here by the Colorado State quarterback, Matt Newton. Got away from everybody, didn't he? And threw the touchdown pass for the 17-13 lead. But just before halftime, that's big Derek Nix got the end zone. Southern Mississippi up by 3 at half. Not much offense in the second half, only one field goal. Colorado State's last chance incomplete. 23-17, Southern Mississippi is your winner. The other ball games then. This one is the Independence Bowl as Mississippi gets a last-second field goal. 39-yarder from Les Binkley. They beat Oklahoma 27-25. And in Tucson at the Donna loves these, the Insight.com Bowl, Colorado just pounded Boston College 62-28. Of course, tomorrow is the game played that most of us are interested in, the Rose Bowl. Wisconsin and Stanford, with the Badgers the big favorite.
To be able to play or think about upsetting the number 4 ranked team in this country is a huge task.
My guys have been humbled already this year, where we were heavy favorites and lost.
Number 33, the main reason almost everybody expects Wisconsin to win, Heisman Trophy winner Ron Dayne, the all-time leading rusher in the history of college football. And I want you to know that I am completely objective about that game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Sure
The fact that I went to school at Wisconsin has no effect whatsoever on my journalistic impartiality when it comes to Wisconsin and Stanford in the Rose Bowl. Go Bucky. All right, LeVar Arrington, the linebacker from Penn State, has made his decision, and he will turn pro. He made the announcement today, said earlier this week he might go. Today he said, yep, I'm done in college. He's a good one, too. Almost everybody thinks he will be a top 5 pick. Boy, you know Miami Dolphins head coach Jimmy Johnson is loving to hear this. Barry Sanders said today he would like to play for Miami next season. How about that? If you know football, you know the story on Sanders. One of the best running backs ever. Got sick of playing in Detroit, though, so he supposedly retired at the start of this season. Now there's talk he'd like to come back, just not in Detroit. One team he likes a lot is Miami. Jimmy Johnson's been looking for a running game. He might have one right there, wearing number 20. You know, one of the things I am most thankful for in 1999 is Isaiah Ryder, because he makes the crybaby of the week an easy pick. He's my pick again this week, and here's the reason. Here's Ryder complaining after Wednesday's Hawks game that his teammates don't want to win.
This is bullshit. People don't care, man. I'm tired of this laughing and giggling when we lose and people don't care. Just what I said when I first came to this motherfucker, I want to win, man. This is bull. Now, if you get my point, you get it. If you want to talk about me, talk about me. I don't give a
Crybaby of the week, crybaby of the year, crybaby of the millennium. Just be quiet. He's unbelievable.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Jim. Thanks.
And rest assured, we aren't going to be leaving you. We're going to continue to update you on Y2K celebrations and the status of situations around in our area.
But right now, you're looking at a live picture from Times Square in New York. The party is still continuing there for the year 2000. Looks like a good time. I don't think anybody's going home in Times Square right now. More than 1.5 million people packed in at Times Square to take a look at that giant crystal ball from Waterford. Took a 77-foot drop and marked the year 2000.
And what a celebration it has been around the world. Let's go ahead and take another look at celebrations as they happened in all of the different time zones.
There's Times Square one more time. We'll see you later, folks. Happy New Year.